I'm John Hanna for citytv.net, and we have Michael Soon Lee joining us for our conversation today. Thanks for joining us, sir.
Thank you, John. I look forward to it.
All right, sir. So tell us a little bit of a background about yourself.
Well, first of all, I got to let people know that I'm a fifth-generation Chinese American. My great-great-grandfather was born in China and came to the United States in 1855. So I'm pretty much as American as anybody. In fact, I'm so American, I don't even speak Chinese. Thanks to the California public school system, I speak Spanish.
Really?
Yes.
Right.
And so I have been working with companies for the last 25 years in helping their salespeople increase their sales to multicultural customers. Because what I discovered is people want me to talk about how do you sell to people whose culture is different than your own. Now, I would have loved to have talked about something other than that, like motivation or something else, but diversity is what people really see me as a bridge to. And so that's what I've been talking about for the last 25 years, John.
Wow. First of all, you got like awesome fifth generation from the 1800s here in the United States, which is a pretty amazing history right there. And the second thing was that you were able to pick up another language, which is Spanish.
Yeah, well, when you grow up in California, you really don't have much choice.
Okay. So I guess that really pulls in together to what you have here, which is pretty much the expertise in cross-cultural marketing, which is the name of your book, right?
It is. It's cross-cultural selling for dummies. It helps companies, both large and small, first of all, reach out to the multicultural community, to Hispanics, African Americans, Asians, Middle Easterners, and others, about how do you bring them into your store or into your office. And then it talks about how do you treat them with sensitivity to their culture. Because, John, there's a little bit of a problem when untrained salespeople first meet a multicultural customer. In the first 30 seconds, they are likely to insult them at least 3 times. And if you do that, you're not likely to sell them very much. They're more likely to look for a store that maybe caters to them and knows more about how to treat them with sensitivity to their culture. Because if you insult people, John, as you know, they're not going to buy from you.
Right, of course. I mean, that's it's kind of like, why are you going to give them a business if they're insulting you, right?
Yeah, but unfortunately, it's not intentional. Salespeople will do things, John, like first thing they'll do is shake their hand. That's not always comfortable for people from other cultures and other countries.
Oh.
If you try to shake the hand of a Indian woman, Asian Indian woman, a Middle Eastern woman, or even a traditional Japanese woman, it's very uncomfortable for them, and sometimes even insulting, not only to their culture, but to their religion and possibly to their family as well, for any stranger, man or woman, to touch them.
Wow.
So instead of just automatically shaking people's hands like all of us salespeople have been taught to do for years in the United States, first thing they teach you to do, shake someone's hand very firmly, whether it's a man, woman, or child. But in this new global economy, you've got to be a little more sensitive to the fact that not everybody is comfortable in shaking hands or even touching another person that they don't know well. So instead of automatically shaking somebody's hand, John, what I suggest to people is that you welcome them into your store or your office and see what kind of greeting they give you. Now, sometimes they'll give you a handshake, sometimes not, but whatever they give you, you do the same. They might give you a slight bow or a nod. They might not give you any kind of physical greeting whatsoever. And so whatever they do, you just do the same. In other words, do what's comfortable for them, not what's comfortable for you. It's a different way of thinking, basically.
Wow. And like you said, we were taught to handshake with the people that we meet. And just that little tidbit alone, that's a pretty good recommendation that you let them, um, make the first connection.
Yeah. I mean, and again, it's something that we don't think about much, but it basically says to them, if you force them to shake their hand, it's like my way or the highway. I don't care about your culture. I'm just going to treat everybody the same. And that's a nice thing to try and do, treat everybody the same. But it says, John, that if you had a person who was blind come into your store or your office, if you treat everybody the same, then you would immediately hand them a brochure to read, which I'm sure most of your listeners would never do to a blind person. So why would you take someone who's not comfortable with the American culture and force them to do things the way that we do them here, which is not comfortable for them? So if you want their business, make them comfortable. That's the basics of any good customer service program.
Well, on that note, let's close up the. That's a pretty good first tip on. I'm sure we're going to be talking a lot more strategies in marketing to cross-cultural selling on part 2, but we're just going to close up part 1. And where can people find you, Michael?
Very simple, John. They can simply go to www.ethnoconnect.com. They'll find out more about how do you market to and sell to people from other cultures. There's also a couple of quizzes there, John, that they can take about multicultural marketing and selling just to see what your knowledge about working with people from other cultures is currently and how much more you could improve it.
Okay. So this concludes part 1 of a 2-part series with Michael Soon Lee. And I'm John Hanna for CDTV.net.